for another episode of the 12-Man Fan Jam Show, a show made by 12s from around the world, for 12s from around the world. I'm Mosette, and here's your host, and my dad, the self-appointed Reverend Moses of the St. Paul Allen Church of Seahawk Positivity.
Yes, thank you, everyone, and this is your self-appointed Reverend Moses of the St. Paul Allen Church Seahawk Positivity, and welcome to episode 1110 of your 12-Man Fan Jam Show as your Seattle Seahawks get ready to take on the Cincinnati Bengals. So do us all a favor, grab a desired sin or beverage of your choice. Please put your tray up in the upright position, put your seat up in the upright position, fasten your safety belt, keep your arms and legs inside the podcast at all times. And what can I tell you? Bye week is bye gone. We day. That's what I'm going to say. We day. You know what that means later.
Yeah.
We be day. So we're going to talk about the Bengals game coming up this weekend for the Seattle Seahawks. Before we do that, we're going to talk about the posse that is here for the show. First, over there is Dustin. Dustin, how are you?
Good. How you doing?
Good. How was your bye week?
It was really good. Getting settled in here in Wenatchee. Working a lot more, which is awesome. My training wheels are pretty much off at this point.
Awesome.
I was actually on call last night.
You actually went? You didn't have the dentist problem?
No problem.
Yeah.
And I was on call last night, which if I can pull a call, that means I'm officially part of the team now. I feel like so.
Awesome.
And then I'm also living in Wild Kingdom right now. I suck at this, but there's a golden retriever over there. I got a dog underneath the desk over here. I got Kona running around. There's a cat around here somewhere.
It's like Wild Kingdom, man.
Yeah, there's like some snakes and birds probably. I don't know.
Be a couple snakes coming around out of the corner there. There's a big spider over there in your corner, but anyway.
Yeah.
And over there is Will. Hi, Will.
Hi, Moses. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Doing okay. Got my new shirt so I can pay tribute to Mariners GM Jerry DiPoto.
Oh my goodness! I love that. I love it.
Nice. Very nice. Well done. How's April doing?
I hate it. And I love it.
Fine. She's snoozing away in the other room, but may deign to pay us a visit a little later.
If we're blessed. And over there is Little Mo. Hi, Little Mo. Other side of the house from me.
Actually in the other room, but yeah.
In the other room, yeah.
I'm going.
We have the dogs quarantined because it's raining here, and they get a little feisty.
Yep.
So we have
just the old one.
Yeah.
How they do on 4th of July and New Year's?
Not good either.
Not good either, but not terrible.
Yeah.
But so Little Mo's here. I know Little Mo was really excited to ask Maddie something, and Maddie's not here right now. We don't know where Maddie is. It is 2 a.m. over there, so there's a good chance that Maddie's sleeping. So hopefully Maddie will make an appearance. But we do have someone else.
Well, I was just say it. So I thought of this the other day. You know how we play in London, right? The NFL. Yeah. And they play both national anthems, and our national anthem was about, us kicking their ass. So how's it make them feel is what I was going to ask them.
I'm sure he'll have an answer. It says, we just didn't want to be bothered with you, but we'll see what he says. Yeah. But we'll corner him when he comes on. But we do have a guest on the show this evening, return guest from draft days, and that's Brian McCauley. Hi, Brian.
Hey, Moses, how are you?
Wonderful. From Florida.
Naples, Florida, correct.
From Naples, Florida. No, Naples. Brian is on because he wanted to talk about the Seahawks. How have you been, sir?
I've been pretty good.
Good.
Since I've last seen you, I've exploded in cats and kittens.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah. My cat decided to go out and become a slut. Sluts always give it away. So
as most cats are.
Yeah, here I am sleeping in bed, and all of a sudden I hear, meow, and I wake up. She has a cat. She has her kittens inside the pillowcase next to my head.
Oh no!
Bless her heart.
So I got lucky.
You got
lucky with the fact that she allowed me to touch them. So now when I go to sleep, I have a pig pile of cats in my bed with me.
So if anybody's looking for a nice kitten, contact the 12-Man Fan Jam Show.
There you go. I got 3 of them.
We'll hook you up for some nice kittens. And how you get a hold of us is coming up as I show you how this show is run. Yeah, 12-man Fan Jam show format. It's 4 quarters and a halftime, just like a real NFL game. In quarter one, we are going to talk about news. Will's going to catch us up on some news stories from the NFL that we may have missed while we were on break. Bye week. Quarter two, we're usually talking about last week's game. Well, it was bye week. So we've already talked about that game with the Giants. So we're going to talk about the state of the Seahawks. We're going to talk about what we liked, what we didn't like about the Seahawks so far. At halftime, it is the best Seahawks-themed trivia game on the internet. Of course, I refer to 12-man Fan Jam Show halftime trivia
of the world.
The winner last week, I believe, was Will. Yeah, Will, congratulations. So he'll look to repeat. Second half, we talk about that game between the Cincinnati Bengals and your Seattle Seahawks. We'll offer all kinds of goodies, an injury report. We'll definitely offer a sermon of Seahawks positivity. We'll pull out together. We'll have game balls, prognostications, and predictions, score predictions of that very game between your Seattle Seahawks and those Cincinnati Bengals. We'd like to remind you, if you'd like to write us and get a free kitten or, something that Matt said that you may have trouble with, we want to remind you that we are on the interweb allegedly. Follow us on Facebook page, 12-man Fan Jam Show. We have a great game day thread all the time. Used to be Twitter, now it's X at 12-man Fan Jam Show. You are watching us on the Seahawks Positivity YouTube channel, probably on YouTube if you're watching us. And you can email us at 12manfanjamshow@gmail.com. And of course, I am putting specials up on TikTok. Haven't done any recently, but I'll put some together for TikTok. And 12-man Fan Jam Show, as always, is a Seahawk Positivity production. And now it's time to turn to our news hound, Will, and the news. Yes, news from around the NFL with our news hound, Will. Will, what you got for us?
Well, Moses, the Deshaun Watson trade really has not worked out well for the Browns so far. He missed most of last season, didn't look good. Hasn't really done much this year. Well, he missed last week's game and is probably going to miss a few more games with a rotator cuff confusion. The team would have sent him to get a nice massage to work it out.
I was thinking, yeah.
So the Browns will be starting quarterback P.J. Walker on Sunday, which is interesting because Walker makes the 36th starting quarterback for the Browns since they re-entered the league in 1999. So lack of continuity in Cleveland has been the norm. Walker follows in the footsteps of Tim Couch, Ty Detmer, Doug Peterson, Spurgeon Wynn, Kelly Holcomb, Jeff Garcia, Luke McCown, Trent Dilfer, Charlie Fry, Derek Anderson, Brady Quinn, Ken Dorsey, Bruce Gradkowski, Colt McCoy, Jake Seneca Wallace, Brandon Whedon, Thad Lewis, Jason Campbell, Brian Hoyer, Johnny Manziel, Connor Shaw, Josh McCown, Austin Davis, Cody Kessler, Robert Griffin III, Deshaun Kaiser, Kevin Hogan, Baker Mayfield, Tyrod Taylor, Case Keenum, Nick Mullins, Jacoby Brissett, Deshaun Watson, and Dorian Thompson-Robinson.
There was some legends on that list.
I bet right now in Cleveland there's some radio shows. If you can name all the quarterbacks, you'll get free tickets. I looked it up. That is 1.5 quarterback per year, which doesn't sound like much, but it's a different 2 quarterbacks every year. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, all the way up.
Who do we appreciate?
None of them. Brian, are you thinking about, how's your arm, Brian? You thinking about going to trying out?
No, I'm 57. I'm not going to be able to take it yet.
Brian's 57, so he says no.
That's fine. Just get rid of the ball quick, like Tom Brady. You'll be fine.
Have a good running game. So
It's just that easy.
Yeah.
Man.
Win 7 Super Bowls like that, right?
36 and 24 years. And you say, well, it's only 2 a year, but like I said, it's a different 2 every year. So it's not like it's Locke and Smith and Locke and Smith and Locke and Smith. It's 2 different people every year. That's just mind-boggling, Little Mo, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some great players on that list.
Oh my God. Yeah. Charlie Fry, Dustin.
Love that guy. Love that. Actually, I liked Garcia for a time.
Yeah.
But he's about the only one on there. I was like, yeah, I like that quarterback.
Couple of former Seahawks, Trent Dilfer and Seneca Wallace.
Yeah. And Charlie Fry.
Went
Super
to
Bowl
Carousel.
champion, baby.
Look at that cute kitty that Brian's home.
Aw.
Oh, you big sweetie.
This is Stat.
Is that the culprit?
Yeah, he's one of them.
Uh-huh.
Aw.
He's gonna be getting child support soon.
Cute little man whore you got there, bro.
That's one of the litter.
And that's sweet. Will, what else you got for us?
Well, if you watched last Sunday night's 49ers Cowboys game and you're a Seahawk fan, you didn't get the result probably you were hoping for because San Francisco steamrolled Dallas, which normally Dallas getting butts kicked is a good, but not last time. George Kittle decided to enjoy himself while celebrating a touchdown by teammate Jordan Mason during the game. Kittle pulled up his jersey to display a T-shirt that had the words Dallas written on it.
There it is. Yes, sir.
I
That's
didn't
good.
see that.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. F Dallas.
So Kittle said he expected a fine from the NFL, and indeed he got one.
What?
The fine schedule calls for a penalty of $10,927 for quote displaying personal messages on the field.
Oh no.
However, but Jeremy Fowler of ESPN reports that Kittle was fined a higher amount, $13,659. So he had to pay.
Who comes up?
No.
But he said he'd do it again. And no, I don't know why the NFL doesn't just round these fines off to the nearest.
Yeah.
Dollar.
That's probably like groceries.
$59. Like,
Yeah.
That's like finding us $1.50.
Yeah.
Basically, but Brian, this 49er team looks pretty good.
Yeah.
But in October.
Yeah.
They look better when Garoppolo was there. I think Kittle's probably not a good looking dude.
Oh, as far as pretty, yeah, you're right. Garoppolo's better looking.
Brock Purdy looks like he's 12 years old.
But I remind little Mo of that. There was that Bears team a few years ago. The whole Denny Green, if you're going to crown them, crown their ass. That team, but they started like 8 or 10-0, and they were winning 34-7, and everyone, oh my God, they're unstoppable, they're unbeatable, and I don't think they want a playoff. And I don't think they want a playoff game. Yeah. So
the Steelers too. They saw.
That being said, right now, I think this team, call me in January when they're playing like this, but they could be playing like this in January. But they are a very solid, scary team right now.
Health is going to make a big difference for those guys.
Who is?
I said health.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
yes. Oh, yes.
You got to remember 2013. Well, you got to remember 2013 when the Seahawks went to the Super Bowl. They were the healthiest team in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That was a big reason why we got the number one seed that year.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, to an extent, but don't forget both of our starting tackles were up for half of the regular season that year, and we still overcame.
That's true.
Well, San Francisco's they're deep and they're a good team. They got a lot of talent and they're well coached. So I mean,
yeah.
I don't know that teams are going to beat them if their health isn't compromised. To be honest,
they're clearly going to beat themselves.
Just hire Tanya Harding's bodyguard, slip him into Christian McCaffrey's hotel room. Boom, problem solved.
Well, if you think about it, though,
Why?
McCaffrey struggled with injury. Kittle struggled with the injury. Debo's had some injuries recently, so they've got guys that have gotten injured before.
CMC is going to get hurt. He's going to miss games. There's no doubt about it, and that's going to put a higher
premium on what the guy plays.
Yeah, especially Debo.
Yeah,
and Debo's gonna.
And Purdy too.
I'm gonna pause here.
England. Yeah.
Look, it's Matt from Merry Old England. How are you?
Bloody tired.
I bet. Hey, Little Mo had a question for you. Little Mo, you want to shoot that to him before we?
So you know how we play games in London, right? The NFL.
Mm-hmm.
So they play both national anthems, right?
Yeah.
And the national anthem for the U.S. is kind of about us, like kicking your ass.
Yes.
Yeah. So I just want to know how you felt about them playing that at the London games when we play in London.
I don't mind that at all. It's off an old English folk song, so your whole national anthem is borrowed off us.
Truth.
Well, everything is.
It's sung in English. That's also us.
Yeah.
So
By one
really,
vote.
to be honest,
By
we
one
still
vote.
own you. We still own you, bitches.
Well, we did get rid of all those extraneous views. So
Well, we got rid of all those extreme views and sent them to America, which is where they all sit now. So
Hold on, did you say the
Touche.
national anthem? Did you say it's derived from an old English folk song? Is that what you said?
drinking song.
Yeah.
Drinking song.
It was sung
It
by
is.
drunks.
That makes sense. That
and
makes sense.
this is supposed to be a bad. This is
America.
supposed to be a bad thing.
And you borrowed a flag in order to get your flag the right colours. I mean, all in all, I mean, you basically took everything.
Listen to that.
And
Yeah.
that's fine.
Made it better.
It's fine.
Hey, before we go to break, Matt, did you have anything any updates of any kind you wanted to share with us?
Well, but you don't now. You know me. I don't like to gossip. I don't like to be one of those people that has a little gossip or anything like
Of
that along the
course,
lines. But I
of course.
have been following very closely. Good friend of the show, Mr. Aaron Rodgers, who was seen walking unaided from a men's locker room earlier. Which, and actually, to my knowledge, he looked incredibly disappointed with himself. I can't imagine why. Also, apparently, he has challenged Mr. Travis Kelce to a debate about vaccines, because we all know that Aaron Rodgers loves a big mass debate when it comes to tight ends and pricks. So that looks like that's going to be a really interesting thing. So I'm keeping an eye on that well.
Excellent, Matt. Well, we're glad you woke up, and we're glad you're here.
Yeah, I'm also glad I woke up, because if I hadn't, then could have dead.
Oh, Matt.
Oh my God.
Fair. That's
Hey.
fair.
That would not have been good. That would not have been good. Well, thank you for the news. That escalated quickly. Thank you for the news.
It usually does.
Did I miss Will's news?
You did.
Oh
did.
no!
Well, you'll just have to go back and watch the show like everyone else.
I'm gonna have to. If I'd have slept a little bit longer, I'd have missed trivia as well.
You would have. Oh! But right now, you just missed the end of the first quarter.
Fair enough.
That's the end of the first quarter, bitches.
Fair enough.
But don't worry, Matt, because guess what's coming up? We're going to have trivia. We're going to talk about the Bengals. You're going to tell us what the weather and fashion is going to be like. And Brian and Little Mo and Dustin and Will and you and I are all going to talk about the state of the Seahawks. And that's coming up right after this quick message. Don't you go changing.
You are watching the 12-Man Fan Jam Show, a Seahawk Positivity production.
That's the fact, Jack!
It's the second quarter.
Yes, welcome back to the second quarter of episode 1110, the At Bengals edition of your 12-Man Fan Jam Show in our 11th amazing season. Hard to believe. Usually in the second quarter, we talk about last week's game. We were on a bye. We did that the week before in our bye week show. So we're not going to talk about that wonderful Giants game as much as we loved it. We're going to move on. In the second quarter, we're going to talk about the state of the Seahawks, where we think the Seahawks are after 4 games, where we see them going forward. So, Brian, something you liked, something you didn't like from the season? What are your thoughts on the state of the Seahawks at this point?
Well, first off, the thing I didn't like was that second half versus the Rams.
Oh, terrible! Yes,
that was
awful.
Complete dud. The state of our offensive line really still concerns me, even with Cross coming back. But he's not going to be 100%. So I'm concerned there. Defensively, Bobby being back is the huge help. It's transformed the defense. We're not getting run on for 7-8 yards. We're getting run on for 4 or 5, sometimes for 0. Pass rush, it got off great against the Giants, but where was it against the Lions? Where was it against the Rams? It's got to be consistent. And there's things I like, there's things I don't like.
Good test. Good test for this week, the Bengals.
Oh, it's going to be a huge test.
Yeah, absolutely. See exactly where we're at. Dustin, what about you? What's something you like? What you said, something you didn't like?
So obviously week 1 sucked. There's no other way to put that. But what I like about what's going on with the team is that they're progressively getting better. I mean, we've had issues with pass rush, right? Last game we played, for the Seahawks in particular, that was historically awesome with the pass rush. The secondary hasn't been great. It's been getting better. Offensively, what I don't like Okay, so let me just to shorten it up. I like how they're getting better as we go, offense and defensively. What I don't like is our durability. That's my big
Uh-huh.
not like
Yeah.
because that offensive line is just the team in general actually in a lot of ways was kind of the walking wounded, man.
Yeah.
People were just getting injured left and right. You're having to like take our starting center and just move him to a different spot so we get a different center in there because that guy couldn't play guard apparently, but our starting center could.
Can you say the center's
And-
name? The backup center's
The backup
name?
center's name.
I think
Oluwatimi.
I think it's fuck Jacob.
Oh, that's how you pronounce it. Okay. Man down. Man down. We have a man down. Man down.
Hey, Dustin, I got one thing for you on that. How many of our draft picks this year actually made it out of camp without an injury?
Oh, wow.
How many made it out?
How many without injury? Not many.
One.
One? I was thinking like three. Wow.
One.
Charbonnet, was he it? No, he was injured. Oh, yeah, he was.
Yeah, Carbonnet made it through.
Carbano.
Carbonnet. Well, Lil Bo looks like he's dead. Matt, so what are your thoughts?
I would say, let's give Jacob a little breathing time to get himself around.
Yeah.
Get the
There he is.
That's my boy.
That just thumbs up. I'm okay.
Take him into the blue tent, folks. Let's just check him out. I just agree entirely with Brian to start with. The first opening game is just annoying. Totally unprepared for the season. I said it the other week, and to me it was bad coaching from the outset and everything else. But anyway, I'll come on to that in a second. So my bad thing, I have to say, would be the current third down situation for us, which is
excellent,
just appalling.
Yes.
NFL games are hard enough to win with 4 downs, but when you're basically trying to do it with 3 all the time, then you're making it even harder for yourself. We need to remember that sometimes I think we overplay things. We're looking for more than 10 yards, and sometimes we just need to remember you just need 10 yards for a down, to be frank. And stop trying to squeeze things where it doesn't happen. I also think that situational awareness in those third down moments is absolutely key. I think it needs to be a key focus in our coaching going forward. We've got lots of new players, and they all need to understand that they all haven't got to be superstars in every single play. Sometimes I just need 10 yards. Get me that. And that's enough.
I don't know, Matt. Have you seen our offense? Sometimes we end up needing 15, 20 yards.
Well, I mean, but that's all I'm saying is that's
for
where
penalties.
they need for penalties. Yeah, that's where they need to focus. In terms of my bad thing, sorry, that was my bad thing. In terms of my good thing, I have actually, and having talked about coaching at the start, I have actually been impressed of late with Pete. Especially, and having an experienced coach in the NFL who knows how to get the best out of a young team, we are best placed to do that. Pete Carroll is able to to take these younger players and get them to understand that it's a man's game. This is not college anymore. Good luck.
Yeah.
Welcome to the NFL. It's going to be hard. You're going to get hit. Things are going to happen. Constantly uplifting the lads. Constantly fighting with refs for every yard. I'd also say I think this year as well, his time management has been better as a coach. I think quite often one of my complaints with Pete Carroll was that we have this weird use of timeouts, weird moments normally at the beginning of a.
But then Russell left, and it's changed.
Little Mo and I
Russell left,
have talked about that.
Yeah.
Russell's left, and all of a sudden that wasn't an issue anymore. And
the Broncos
watch a
are
Bronco
having an issue.
game. They're running out of timeouts all the time. I
do like to watch a Broncos game, usually with the Benny Hill theme.
Yes,
playing at the same time.
They're great comedy.
But those would be my takes on the state of the Seahawks at the moment.
Very good. It's funny. Dustin went up to get a drink, and both dogs looked at you like, "What are you doing?
What the hell are you doing?"
Yeah, but
the dog got in a fight. So Kona does not get along with her cousin Maddie at all. Yeah.
Wow.
So they were having a little tiff.
A tet.
Yeah,
it happens.
So I had to get in between them, and then Kona bit Maddie anyways because she's being a bitch.
Do you know that someone?
Man Fan Jam Show mascot, ladies and gentlemen.
Do you know that someone's stolen the wheels off your bike, Dustin?
No, that's you might not know what this is, Maddie. That is an exercise bike.
Oh, we don't use exercise bikes.
How the hell have wheels?
I'm happy you have all your teeth still.
So,
Justin's drinking some bitter juice or something.
But if that's an exercise bike, what the hell is Dustin's excuse?
Oh!
Well, full
At least I haven't got one.
Full
Jesus.
disclosure, Lindsay uses it.
Damn. Okay, Will, save us. I always get to Will to save us. Will, save us.
I can only do so much, Moses.
I know. Feisty.
Well, in an attempt to save us, I'll start with the good thing first. And that is the play of our younger players.
Yes.
Hi, buddy.
Good.
We've got guys from last year, Boye Mafe's taken another visible step forward. K9 is running really well. And some of our draft class, they were banged up a bit, but Witherspoon got back on the field and
special.
Looking like he belongs, obviously. Charbonnet's running well. Oluwatimi can come in and play center if we need him to. And we didn't miss it. We didn't miss a beat in there.
And Hall's making an appearance.
Yep. Derek Hall is
Derek Hall is showing up. I'm seeing him a lot.
JSN hasn't quite hit his stride yet, but once we
figure out how to
use him,
he is contributing.
We can get him into the mix. So you look at teams like Denver, and the problem is they can't draft for shit.
Yeah,
that's a big part of the reason why they're struggling across.
They ain't got no draft picks.
3 years they lost number 1 draft picks.
Yeah,
but we've been doing a really good job the last couple of years of drafting and bringing in young guys, and that's why
I agree.
Things are starting to look up. The negative thing is when you look at this team and then you look at the top teams in the league, like unfortunately San Francisco or Philadelphia, we are clearly still a notch below the best teams in the league.
Mm-hmm.
That can change. We've already shown some real resiliency bouncing back from that horrible Rams game, but we still got a ways to go.
Yeah,
the Giants game 2 weeks ago, that pick six by Devin Witherspoon. If Daniel Jones actually threw to a wide open Darren Waller, it's 14-10, 14-11, and they're right back in the game.
And that was an impressive drive that they had down there. Yeah.
And Carolina hung around in their game for a while too. So these are teams that a top tier team would just steamroll.
Agreed.
We're not there yet.
We're not there yet.
Could we be there? Absolutely. I mean, I think we're going in the right direction, but we're not one of the better teams in the league yet. So we need to keep winning games on this schedule when they're still relatively easy.
I agree.
No, I don't agree with that.
You get into Thanksgiving and then you got the Niners twice, you got the Cowboys, you got the Eagles. So we've got to take advantage of this time in our schedule while we can.
Yeah. Dustin?
I don't agree with what you're saying. Well, I think we are one of the better teams in the league, especially in the NFC. We're one of the better teams. But I think this week will definitely be a test because I feel like we're both like the Seahawks. I think they're not elite in the NFC. They're on the second tier.
Well, I think that's what he said, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm not saying we're a bad team. I'm not saying we're.
No, he said we're one of the better teams. We're just not up with the Eagles.
Okay, I heard you wrong.
The 49ers.
We're not one of the better teams. I heard you wrong.
Oh no, not elite, but very good and possible elite.
I think we're a playoff level team.
Yeah,
I want to get to the point where we are a true Super Bowl contender.
Right,
ways to go.
I agree. Little Mo, anything we missed? And then I'm going.
Well, I will say I would like to see Charbonnet get some more runs because he's been super effective when he's ran the ball. I don't feel like they give him the ball that much.
I agree. And just the running game in general. I mean, it's finally getting going, but it felt like that first week, especially the first 2 weeks, it was like they kind of abandoned the run a lot. And I would really like to see them use those two guys a lot more. I agree with you.
I think Charbonnet will end up getting used more as we get along in the season. Just because Ken Walker's he's been the guy and he's kind of a
wear down.
Better.
Yeah, exactly. So they're gonna want to split some time and and Charbonnet runs hard. He's fun to watch.
Yeah, he's fun to watch.
Oh, he's got
a little more Sean in him. There's no.
But you also don't want him to get hurt running that hard. So
I understand. Look after his body.
And he is a rookie. They don't play as many games in college as they do in the NFL. So that might be part of the plan early on in the season is to just let him kind of get used to it and then maybe give him more reps later on in the season so he doesn't hit that proverbial rookie wall or whatever.
And
But
I think
DJ
it's the same
Dallas doesn't
thing.
look bad either.
I think that's the same thing with JSN too. Is
Yeah,
we're going to
me
use him
too.
more later down the field.
He's
down
just
I
not
agree.
targeted.
Road.
JSN's out there and he's playing. He's just not being targeted.
Yeah, I think he's fine. He's contributing. He's just not doing 10
and when
catches,
he-
100 yards.
when he does get targeted, he's a yard away from the line of scrimmage.
Yep.
Right. Yeah.
They gotta sort that out.
Well, okay. So for me, I'm just going to stay positive because that's my thing. For me, how often, look, there's no such thing as a perfect offensive coordinator. You're not going to please everybody all the time. But compared to a year or 2 years ago, especially 2 years ago, Shane Waldron, to me, has called, with the exception of the first game was awful, yes. But we're averaging over 30 points a game since then, I believe. And I'm loving the calls. When he brought the 2 tight ends in behind the guards, when we were having trouble, and he said, okay, we're just going to, you're our pulling guards, go. And also bringing those guys in, like we said after week 1, we need help chipping those ends. And he, sure enough, I mean, not because he listened to us, because it was common sense. But there has been a lot of changes since week 1. There's been a lot of changes to help protection. I feel like offensively, our offensive coordinator, I'm happy. Now, obviously, yeah, there are some calls I don't like, of course. There are some things I don't like, but we used to say it more often than not, and very rarely on this show in the last 4 weeks have we said, oh my God, that offensive coordinator, what are we going to do with him?
I will say another thing. I would like to see more deep shots.
Well, I was going to say,
not on 3rd and 1, but
Yeah.
deep shots, on 2nd and 1 or, something like that.
and also what I said, I agree with you entirely, Dennis, apart from the fact that there's use of screenplays, which were just driving me bonkers because they were not working.
Right.
Stop
We
doing it.
can't run a screen. We just
Yeah,
can't run. Tear it out.
Stop doing it.
Yeah.
It
I
doesn't
agree.
matter. It doesn't matter the coaches, the era, whatever. For whatever reason, Seahawks cannot do screen games.
Never
like
have
that.
to screen. All right. Quick rapid fire questions to each of you before we end the second quarter. Brian,
Go.
we're 3-1. What's the future of this team the rest of the year?
3-1. I say we're going to hit the playoffs at 10-7.
All right. Will?
10 wins sounds reasonable. I think we have the potential to do better, but like I said, everybody's got to step it up.
All right. Dustin?
I think we're gonna do a little better than that. I think we'll go 11 or 12 wins. Because with the trajectory with the team for the last couple of years, they've started off slow and gotten better. Our slow start was 1 loss, and we've won 3 in a row.
Okay.
I think we're only going to continue to get better.
Good. Lil Mo?
It's going to be so tough to win the division with how good the 49ers are playing. And we have to face them twice, obviously, still.
Yeah.
But I think 10 wins is about right in a wild card spot.
That
It's just going to be
sounds
so
pretty good.
hard. It's going to be so hard to win the division with how good the 49ers are playing.
It really is.
And we still face them twice. I mean, we control our own destiny still, technically. It's 3-1, so it's 4 games in the season, 5 games for them.
Right.
But we have to beat the stretch when we face the 49ers twice and the Cowboys and the Eagles. It's going to be
Huge.
so tough.
That's going to tell
Huge.
a lot.
It's going to tell a lot.
Yeah.
Matt, your thoughts?
I was going to say it's going to also tell us a lot is how we play this game because it's how we play coming off a bye, and that always concerns me because we take that momentum away from the early part of that where we had win back to back. That worries me. I do think though that we can get to 10. I think we can get 10 wins.
Me too.
But I agree entirely with Lil Mo. The idea that we're going to win the division has kind of been put out of my head completely, and I'm putting that to one side. I'm just not going to open that until next year. It
feels to me like I know the Rams are playing pretty well, but it feels to me like a 2-horse race. To be honest, maybe the Rams could sneak in there, but it's like a 2-horse race right now. So that's encouraging for us. And every year I just want my team to fight for a playoff spot. And then, at that point, everybody's 0-0 and you never know what's going to happen. So they can just get the foot in the door.
I think we'll end with a better record than the Rams. I don't know that we'll beat the Rams when we play them again. And the reason I say that is because where Waldron came from, they just might have his number. It might be one of those.
They might.
Where
they very well might.
I think.
Well, and I'll say Arizona has played better than people are giving them credit for right now.
They have.
I'm not saying no, Super Bowl team. I'm just saying people thought they would be the worst team in the NFL, and they've been, putting up fights against teams. So I don't think there's gonna be easy games either.
They've got spunk. I hate
it.
All right.
Let's face this about the Rams. There's one thing about the Rams we got to realize. Stafford's an elite quarterback, and he's playing healthy. That's going to be the problem we're going to have with him for the rest of the season if he's healthy.
If he's healthy. I agree.
And the best defender in the NFL. So
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
I hate spunk. I also hate the fact that we have to go to halftime, but here we go.
Holy shit, it's halftime!
All right, that was the state of the Seahawks, and now we go on to talk about the Bengals. We're going to have an injury report on the Bengals. We're going to have a Seahawk sermon of Seahawk positivity. We're going to have the weather. We're going to have a Madden game played about the Bengals and the Seahawks. We're going to have a fashion report. Before we do all that, let's do some halftime trivia because it is time for the best Seahawk themed trivia game on the internet. 12-man fan jam show halftime trivia
Of the world.
And that is coming up right after this.
You are watching the 12-Man Fan Jam Show, a Seahawk Positivity production.
If there's a better use for the internet, I haven't found it.
Yes, welcome to America's favorite Seahawk themed trivia game on the internet. 12-Man Fan Jam Show halftime trivia
Of the world.
The game that challenges both the posse and those watching and listening to the show. For those of you watching the show, the questions and answers will pop up over on that side, I should say that side. And the contestants are the posse themselves, Matt, Dustin, Brian, Little Mo, and Will. Here's how the show is played. There are 2 rounds of questions. Each one's worth a point. Once during the first 2 rounds, you can take one option of the 3 away. I will do that for you. At the end of that, there will be a final question where the closest person gets 2 points. If there is a tie, those that are tied will go into a sudden death top secret double probation overtime question where the winner will be crowned 12-Man Fan Jam Show halftime trivia champion of the world and of the show. So Will won last show, but Will, what one would you like? 1 through 5?
Let's get this going. I'll just take 1.
Oh, okay. Will takes 1. Brian,
Why
which
would you
one
choose
would you
that one?
like? 2, 3, 4, or 5, Brian?
Since I work on a golf course, 4.
Nice.
Good.
Nice.
Dustin, 2, 3, or 5?
2. I also like to get it over with early.
Yes.
That's what she
Little
says.
Mo, 3 or 5?
Yeah.
Broncos country.
You have
Broncos
Matt
country, which means Matt and also there's always one question that's not exactly about the Seahawks and the Bengals.
I'll take the time it is at the moment. 3.
No, Little Mo has that. He said Broncos country.
Oh,
Yeah.
did he? I
Yeah.
forgot to
Yeah.
say that.
You got
I'll
5.
have I'll have 5 then. Which is what time it
Yeah.
will be by the time this trivia ends.
Probably. We'll see. All right, Will, are you ready? Here's
get
your
paid for
top
this.
secret.
No,
Nobody
No,
has seen this question, Will. No one's seen this question. Hey, when the Seahawks played the Bengals in Cincinnati back in 1985, you remember that, Will?
Vaguely.
Okay, how many sacks did both teams have? Which means they both had the same answer. Was it 1, 2, or 3? How many did they both have in this game?
Aaron Rodgers' dream.
Allegedly.
Take 1 away.
Take one away. We're gonna take one away. It's either 2 or 3.
1.
Let's go 3.
Let's go 3. Why not? Why not? Because it's the right answer. That's why not.
Look at all those sacks.
Man, 3. That's a lot of sacks.
Now you sound like Matt.
Will is on the board. Dustin,
Anyways,
your question is also a Seahawk Bengal question, and it's back
Oh,
in 1993. Do you remember that game? I was there.
absolutely. I was
tell
there.
us,
I
go
was-
ahead and tell how
I was
that
in
goes.
that game in
that go?
1993.
I played in
I'll
that game.
tell you more about that later. But here's what I want to know. How many sacks did the Seahawks have in that game? 4, 5, or 6? 4, 5, or 6?
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Didn't we only win
Sacks
6
for the
games that
Seahawks?
year?
He won.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
Greg Myers' rookie year. Really.
5. We'll go 5.
We'll go 5. Dustin will go 5.
We will indeed go 5.
He will go right.
All right.
Well,
Dustin.
time to screw it up, baby.
All right.
I like being right.
Well, Little Mo, your question isn't exactly a football question, but it does
Is it about
involve
Cincinnati?
It's about Cincinnati. In 1944, a Cincinnati inventor named Albert Carter,
What am I listening to?
he filed a patent for what game? Jenga, Legos, or Magic 8 Ball? What did a Cincinnati inventor named Albert Carter file a patent for? Jenga, Legos, or Magic 8 Ball?
Little known fact, that is the great grandfather of Kajana Carter, who also played for the Bengals.
Well said. Well said.
Technically, he played for the Bengals. In reality, kind of banged up.
Well, he was
Well,
there to get roast ice.
I hope Dustin steps on a Lego. So Lego.
Legos. Magic 8-ball. He did the magic 8-ball.
Well, I tell you what, the odds that I step on a Lego though are very high. Lindsay's got like 50 Lego sets.
Oh,
That's her
very
thing.
cool.
That's her thing.
Good.
Very
By
nice.
the way, Legos are from Denmark.
There you go. Hey, Brian.
That's not
Yo.
even a country.
Brian.
Not even a real country.
Indiana education, everybody. Indiana education. Brian, when the Seahawks played the Bengals in 2003, how many interceptions did Matty Hasselbeck throw in that game? 1, 2, or 3?
2.
Zero.
Did you say 2?
Oof.
Yeah, I said 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was 3. Yeah. It was 3. Matt.
Yeah.
Seahawks played the Bengals in 1984. Remember that game?
No, but let's go with it anyway. Let's
How
bring
many
it up
turnovers?
to-
You
How
had the
many-
pajamas, sir.
How many? How many turnovers? How many turnovers did the Bengals have in that game? 4, 5, or 6? My lights went out.
My lights have gone out.
There you go.
No.
Sorry. 4, 5, or
did.
6. Yeah. Weird.
Oh.
Mine did.
Oh, yours did. I was gonna say mine
Yeah.
didn't. Perfectly fine. Let's go with 5.
Let's go with 5. You never cease to amaze me. That's right. 5. All right. As we
Me
look
and
at the
Brian
first round is in the books. Will,
Let's
Dustin, and Matt
go.
have a point.
Yes.
Little Mo and Brian, you have no point. Will, 6, 7, 8, 9, or 10, and you can pick this time.
Oh, why? Thank you.
What do you mean? He picked last time.
He picked first.
Hey, it worked before. I'll take number 6.
Favoritism.
All right, Will. Dustin, 7, 8, 9, or 10.
Yes.
Okay.
I figure I'll get one of them right. No,
No, you might.
7.
No.
All right. Matt, 8, 9, or 10.
8, please.
All right. Brian, 9 or 10.
I'll be the caboose. 10.
Oh, I was just trying to keep it easy for little Mo.
9. Is there
This
a
is like-
university?
You know,
I'll be a
Brian-
university question, Matt.
When you announce proudly on this show that you'll be the caboose, I don't think that's a good idea on this show. I'm just saying. This crowd.
Yeah, that's good.
Typically, it's Aaron
Anyway.
Rodgers.
You're
Yeah,
leaving yourself
allegedly.
open for
Yeah.
jokes.
Allegedly. Will. Seahawks played the Bengals back in 1981. You remember that game? Of course you do.
Oh, yeah. Like it was
How many
yesterday.
times did the Seahawks sack Turk Schonert? There's a name for you. Turk Schonert. 1, 2, or 3.
Turk Schonert.
No, that's a name.
Just-
like
You know,
Hood.
I love having that for dessert. I have a nice steak and then a Turk Schonert at the end. It's
That
perfect.
just looks like a made up name. That's just not real. That guy's not real.
He's real.
Sounds like
I remember number 15.
Not real.
that sounds like a Jedi name that George Lucas would have made up.
Yeah, Turk Schonert.
Turk Schonert.
Let's go with 2.
You're gonna go with 2?
Yep.
I should have gone
Yeah, I really should have.
with 3. Yeah. Dustin,
Yeah, but you didn't know that one.
the Bengals
Casual.
played the Seahawks in 2015. That might sound a little bit better for you.
Did
How
they
many?
really?
Yeah. How many times was Andy Dalton and Russell Wilson both sacked in that game? The same amount of times. Was it 3, 4, or 5?
Was this the game Adam Jones fake the fair catch and then no?
I don't,
Okay,
I don't
next.
think so. Yeah.
I don't think so.
Oh, I know what you're talking about though. That really screwed us up. And the question was again?
It's right there on the screen.
Right up
How
on
many
the screen.
times were both Russell Wilson
Oh.
and Andy Dalton sacked in that game? 3, 4, 5. Hello?
Is this thing on?
Hi. I was looking
Check
at the wrong
one.
screen. I have the screen. Okay. 4. I'll go 4.
I'll go 4. You got it. That's what you can do.
no.
Yeah,
Matt.
that does got
Hello.
only on the other screen, so that kind of distracted him.
Yeah.
Matt, The
I got about,
Bengals,
14 screens here. So no.
the Bengals
Sending
has
you
the Bengals have been in the league for about 54 years.
Have they? Because yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
How many years have they made a playoff appearance? 14, 15, or 16?
That
Ooh,
seems
Lord.
like a lot.
That does seem like a lot. Can you take one away?
Yes, I will take away 15. It's either 14 or 16.
Especially for a team that's never won the Super Bowl.
Let's go 14.
Let's go 14.
Yeah, they won.
Should have gone 16. Should have gone 16.
Okay.
All
They
right.
didn't win. They lost, didn't they?
I
They're
thought
0 for
won
3.
with-
They're
They
0 for
lost.
3 in
Lost.
Super Bowls.
Because they made him cry when he was younger. Moses.
They made me cry.
Bad.
Their first Super Bowl, 1981. I cried. Little
He's a
I
Mo.
Bengals
was
fan.
born that year. That's
I
probably
was like
because I
a-
was born that year.
We'll talk about that in a minute. I was a Bengals Seahawk fan, but all right.
Steelers fan as well.
We'll talk-
Bandwagon.
Nobody's perfect.
Little Mo, when the Seahawks played the Bengals in 1991,
Okay.
how many interceptions did Boomer Esiason throw in that game? 1, 2, or 3? You've
Take
heard
one
of
away.
Boomer. Okay, either 1 or 2.
That's you. Anyways. What'd you say? Which one did you take away?
What?
How many interceptions did Boomer throw in that game? 1, 2.
I call him a boomer. 2.
Oh,
the
okay.
Boomer
That's
who's-
okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Boom.
Little Mo's on the
Yeah.
board. Brian,
Yo,
Seahawks played the Bengals in 1977.
Lies. All lies.
How many interceptions did Ken Anderson throw in that game for the Bengals? 1, 2, or 3?
Finally,
makes
a
sense.
name that makes sense.
Ken
Yeah,
Anderson
Kenny
was a
Anderson.
great quarterback.
I
Yeah,
thought
he
Kenny
was.
Anderson played basketball for the Nets.
No, that's different Ken Anderson.
That is Kenny Anderson, though.
That's a good answer.
New Jersey
take one away,
Nets.
please.
1 or 2,
Yeah.
Brian.
I'm gonna go with 1.
He's going to go with 1. He's right.
We all got one right.
Everybody got 1 right.
Woo!
Unbelievable.
Celebrate.
No overtime.
No overtime, but there is a final question.
Question.
Yeah.
All right, your final question. And the order will go like this: Brian, Matt, Little Mo, Will, and Dustin.
Goes
It is a number. Whoever's closest without going over gets 2 points. There is no overtime because all of you have a point and Dustin has 2. So the winner of this final
Yeah,
question will be
so-
crowned champion.
Is it a
of the
math question?
coefficient. It's a number question. It's back when the Bengals played the Seahawks in the 1988 playoffs. Broke my heart because I was root for both teams and it was just a hard game for me to watch. 1988, Seahawks played the Bengals. How many total yards of offense did the Seahawks have in that game? And we're starting with Brian. Brian, how many total yards of offense for the Bengals for the Seahawks 1988 playoff game against the Bengals?
285.
285. We then go to Little Mo. 285, Little Mo.
195.
195. Matt, 285, 195.
295.
295.
Just trying to keep the theme.
Will, 195, 285, 295.
260.
End it with a 5. Good job.
260. Dustin,
No, 265.
You said
265.
265.
Got it. Little Mo. Okay, here's what we got, Dustin. 195, 265, 285, 295.
End it with a 5.
And this is total yards for the Hawks.
Yes.
Can you not see the screen?
It helps if
don't-
you look at the correct screen.
I don't pay attention to that.
All right.
290.
All right, kick him off.
290.
That's an ineligible guess. It does not end in a 5.
5-yard
okay.
penalty.
All right,
5-yard penalty.
No, it's in.
285. Is
290.
okay? It's close.
If he gets it
Okay.
right, it doesn't count. And then end in 5. That's closest.
I would like to revise my answer to 285. How about that? So
Because
I
that one
said
already did
290.
285. Just do 290.
All right, 290. All right,
All right,
whatever.
Dustin's going to go 290. The Seahawks played the Bengals in 1988 playoffs. The total yards of offense, 294. Dustin,
Oh!
you got it. Matt, you were up by 1.
Wow.
Wow.
Brian was within 9.
Plus.
Dustin was within 4, and Matt was within 1.
Because he followed the 5 theme.
I just followed
Wow.
the rules of 5. That's all I did.
Wow.
A rule of 5.
Dustin, back to back. No, it isn't. Will you won't be back to back because you'll be here next week.
Back to back.
Nothing back to back, face to face, front to front. Doesn't matter. Nose to nose, ear to ear. I don't know.
Left
butt
to
to
right
butt. Toe to toe. I don't.
Yeah,
Congratulations,
tip to
Dustin. You
back,
are the
whatever.
12-man
Thumb and
Fan
ass.
Jam Show halftime trivia champion
Sit
of the
down.
world.
Of the world.
Thank you.
Of the
Thank you.
world.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I'd like to
Congratulations.
thank everybody else for not being as good.
Incidentally, the overtime question was how many yards did the Bengals have in that game? They had 345. So it was a slow 21-13 game, I believe. Congratulations,
Did we
Dustin.
win or lose?
We lost 21-13.
We lost.
Another eye-splitting, ear-aching, tongue-flapping,
Dingleberries.
Waterboarding.
Bowel
stomach churning, head hurting, heart beating.
Achilles tearing.
Flight
Diarrhea
boarding.
inducing.
Knee exploding.
God helping edition
Shoulder
Stomach
of your
churning.
12-man Fan Jam Show halftime trivia
of
the world.
of the world. We'll be
World
back.
ended.
It's all Bengals from here on out. That's what she said, and that's what we
War.
said. We'll be right back. Maybe after this, I don't know.
What happened?
You are watching the 12-Man Fan Jam Show, a Seahawk Positivity production. Holy shit, it's the third quarter!
Yes, welcome to the second half of your 12-man Fan Jam Show, episode 1110. Here at Bengals version. Oh my God, we're going at Bengals version. We're running with it, your 12-man Fan Jam Show. This
Bengals.
Sunday, October 15th, your Seahawks take on the Cincinnati Bengals at 10 a.m. on the West Coast, 1 p.m. on the East Coast. And Matt, if you're in England,
6 p.m.
oh, good. You'll get to see it at least now.
Mm.
That's pretty good. Yeah. All right. So usually I talk about what I'm going to eat, but before I do, I want to take a trip down amnesia lane real quick with everybody. As it was pointed out earlier, yes, I grew up by Cincinnati. Most of my life was spent right by Cincinnati, in a town called Lawrenceburg, Indiana, which is right across the border from Ohio and Kentucky. And so I grew up, as you know, a Reds fan. If you watch this show, still a Reds fan. But, you know, I was a Bengals fan growing up. And then in 1981, I kind of became a closet Seahawk fan because you couldn't, there was no internet. And Steelers.
Steelers. Yeah.
So a lot of people ask me, how's a guy from Indiana become a Seahawk fan? And I'm going to say, I'm not sure I can put down one reason, but this story is what I thought of. Before I do that, I want to tell you some of the games I went to in Cincinnati for the Seahawks. I did see Steve Largent's catch in 1989, his 100th touchdown catch. I was there for that. Well, I was watching him go in the end zone when he threw it. I was excited. And I think two other people stood up and cheered. And because the Bengals were going for a playoff spot, and it didn't go very well for them. But anyway, that is the game, by the way, that Sam Weiss said, you live in Cincinnati, you don't live in Cleveland. He had grabbed the PA mic that was going by, and people were throwing snowballs at the Seahawks, and he grabbed the mic and he said, I want everyone's attention. If you see anyone throwing snowballs on any players on either side, I want you to get an usher. I want you to get them out of here. You don't live in Cleveland, you live in Cincinnati. So I was there for that, which is pretty cool.
So did they throw you out?
No, I stopped. No. So what I want to come to is 1993, Rick Myers' rookie year. And I had a boss had season tickets to the Bengals, and the guy he sat next to always went down to the visitors as they were coming onto the bus after the game. And so he knew I was a Seahawk fan at the time, kind of a fun Seahawk fan. I liked the Seahawks and the Bengals at the time. And he said, why don't you come down with me? We'll get autographs. So I got down and got to meet the team in 1983. It was really exciting. Talked to Rick Myers' parents for a while and did some other stuff. But if people say, what caused me to be like a big Seahawk fan, it might be this moment. You guys remember Brian Blades? Brian Blades, outstanding receiver for the Seahawks for years. Brian came out and he was dressed in head to toe in like brown leather, everything. And he was signing this stuff, and he got to me and he said, let me put my stuff on the bus and I'll come back. And I said, okay. And he went, and I thought, that's it. Never see him. Not, forget about it. I'm with other players. I feel a tap on my shoulder. I turn around. There's Brian Blades. He says, you have something for me to sign? I'm like, wow. He actually found me. So awesome. Brian, if you're out there, thank you. Looking back, I went back that night at home and I said, okay, I got to find out how to be a Seahawk fan. I got a fan club. Maybe it was because of Brian. I don't know. Maybe it was just the team in general were very friendly and signing stuff and talking, and it was a good atmosphere. So maybe it was that. But anyway, for whatever reason, that from that moment on, I was a hardcore Seahawk fan. So that's all.
Didn't you get stuff thrown at you too?
Huh?
At a game? Didn't you get stuff thrown at you at a game?
That was the Bengals game later. And I brought that up 2002. And this is kind of relevant too, because that's the first time I met Neil Hart, who's Kilt Man. And he and I, instant brotherhood. And Neil introduced me to a guy named Will Harrison, who's here. And Will and I met through Neil. And I met so many other people through Neil. And he's one that got me to come up to you should come up for a Seahawk game. And I'm like, oh, no. And so I've been going up every year since 2004. I met Will through Neil. So Cincinnati games to me have kind of a little sentimental feel to them. So I want to throw that out just to kind of let you know a little bit about me and the Seahawks.
He got stuff thrown at him.
Yeah, I had stuff thrown. The Bengal fans in front of us were going to fight the Bengal fans behind us because they felt like we weren't deserving to have stuff thrown at us. And the Bengal fans in front of us, like, you guys are being fine. They're being assholes behind you. And so they were going to fight each other. It was ridiculous. Anyway, let's move on to what I'm eating.
What's up? What you eating there?
It's not a good tactical position.
Hey, Moses,
you want to be the higher ground, not the lower. Just throwing that out there.
Well,
Yes.
what were you going to say?
Hey, Moses, what you eating?
What am I eating? Well, like I said, I'm
A
from
bowl.
Cincinnati, born and raised. There's something I absolutely love, and that is some good old Skyline chili. Skyline chili is well known in Cincinnati. It is a tradition, and as you see, you can put it on your wiener. So
After you.
it gets better.
Tingly feeling.
It gets better because
And if your dog licks it off, it's not cheesy.
it gets better. As I say this for a bunch of 12-year-olds, but here I go. If you go to Skyline, you can order it on noodles, like spaghetti noodles. And if you order it with spaghetti noodles, chili, and cheese, it's called a 3-way.
Add onions, it's a 4-way.
If you add onions, it's a 4-way. And if you add beans, it's a 5-way. So you can order a 3-way.
If it's in a 3-way. Yeah.
So I already know that this is amazing. So it's my favorite chili on the planet.
The honey in the middle, there's some
It's so
leeway.
good.
Hey, Dennis,
Yeah.
I have one 3 miles from me.
Oh my God. In Florida, that's awesome.
Nice.
Very nice.
Right down on 41.
Are you a
So
fan,
I've been
Brian?
down quite a few times.
Good.
It is good chili. Not
Right.
the best, but it is good.
I love it. All right. Anyway, enough of that. Enough of the 3-ways. Let's go ahead and talk about this game coming up between the Seahawks and the Bengals. And we're going to start with finding out who's injured and who's not as we go to Dr. Dustin and the 12-Man Fan Jam Show injury report. Dr. Dustin, tell us the news.
All right, we're going to start out with the Cincinnati Bengals. We have one player out for sure. Linebacker Akeem Davis Gaither. He's got a knee injury. Questionable for this game. I'm going to start with the easy names to pronounce. Defensive tackle Josh Tupou has a knee injury.
Okay.
Or Tupou, maybe, knee injury. Wide receiver T. Higgins, he hurt his ribs.
Oh, T.
Yeah, that is that's something to keep an eye on. And if he plays, that's definitely something that could put him out later in the game.
Yeah, definitely.
Linebacker Devin Harper has a hamstring injury. And then here's the one that I was trying to avoid. Cornerback
Chidobe Awuzie.
Uzu. Yeah, like Adobe Renew. He's
Chidobe Awuzie.
there we go. That works. He's got a back injury.
What did you call him?
Adobe Renew.
Adobe Renew.
Yeah.
2.0. Adobe 2.0.
Yeah. So he's got a back injury, and we'll see what happens with him.
That's funny. Awesome.
Back to the Seahawks. So we have two players out for sure. Kobe Bryant Still dealing with that turf toe injury that he had. Unfortunately, he didn't practice at all this week, even. So that thing is really lingering.
Yeah, it
and
is.
then Artie Burns is also out, another cornerback, hamstring.
Artie
injury.
Burns eats worms.
Next.
Okay.
Okay, all right.
Can we have a record scratch when you do that? Because
all right. So doubtful is guard Damian Lewis. He's got an ankle injury. This time his perineum is fine. There's no cyst. It's just his ankle. So, throw that out
Such
there.
a relief for that guy.
Yeah.
I'm so happy for him.
Yeah. And then Drew Lock is apparently he rolled his ankle in practice earlier in the week. And then Phil Haynes.
Holton Naylor's time. Woohoo!
Yeah, Phil Haynes had a calf injury, but Pete Carroll said that he still expects both of them to play. He said they're listed as questionable, but they should both be fine.
Okay.
So this is actually a pretty good injury report for us compared to what was happening before the bye week. So
Cross is coming back, which is good.
Charles Cross even on the list.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah,
Not
not on the list at all.
So
Jamal Adams.
No Jamal Adams.
Yep. Jamal's not on there. Jamal will be playing. So
Good.
Yeah,
We need him.
At least for like 4 or 5 plays, he'll be there.
Excellent. Yeah.
And so Gino wasn't on it either. The injured list at all.
Because he had that. Good news.
Good.
Yeah, we're
Good news for everybody.
fairly healthy. Yeah.
Yeah. Good. We need that extra week off and it helped. Thanks, Dustin.
Yep.
And now we look to weather and fashion by turning to a guy over in England. Of course, it is our 12-man fan jam show, weather and fashion report with Matt from merry old England. Oh, Matt.
Yes, thank you. We're heading off to Paycor Stadium in Cincinnati, Ohio, which I must confess I misread. Which I thought it said Parkour Stadium, which would be a whole new level.
Parkour.
A whole new level of difficulty.
Parkour.
Indeed, it would introduce a whole new level of difficulty into an NFL game. But I digress. Now, when it comes to the weather, I always like to ask someone on the ground, someone I can trust, who can stick their head out of a car window at 40 miles an hour and take a look and tell me what's going on.
So of course, you talked to Kona.
So of course, I reached out to Earl. You remember Earl?
Remember Earl?
Well, apparently, yeah. So I had, but apparently he was so determined to find another job other than working for the 12-man fan jam show. He's headed off to Washington D.C. to throw his hat into the ring for Speaker of the House of Representatives. But sadly, due to him not being an elected representative or indeed start raving lunatic, he's overqualified for that particular position. So with Earl gone, I've had no choice but to turn to the good old trusty Google. Which has told me that the weather for this game would be mostly dry, but with a chance of light showers. Temperatures of 53 degrees, Biden, with a light to moderate northwesterly wind.
Not bad.
Not bad.
lovely.
Not bad football weather. Doesn't sound too bad at all. Now, what to wear for this game? Well, let me also tell you, whilst I was on the Google, I did have a check to see who most famous singers of Cincinnati are. And I was amazed when it asked me which of the Cincinnatis in the USA I was referring to, as apparently there are 7.
What?
What?
There's one in California, one in Iowa, one in Missouri, one in Arkansas, and 2 in Indiana.
Really?
Yeah, there is. Apparently, I've had a check. It's all true. And then, of course, the one in Ohio. Now, even after selecting the right one, the only famous singer it offered me from Cincinnati was Doris Day, which only I would have done.
And the time.
So there was no decent singers there to run off at all. So of course couldn't go with that. So I thought, well, we can't all go as the dashing blonde Hollywood starlet. I mean, I could probably pull it off, but the rest of you guys wouldn't work. So instead, I've decided. Well, look at Will. Not going to happen. So instead, I decided to look a little bit closer to home because I put in famous people from Cincinnati, and of course, the only answer that came up with first at the top, sponsored. Moses. So you can all go as Moses to this game.
Yes.
All you need is a large amount of grey hair with a big hat and a bushy beard, a slightly southern, at times, Baptist church accent, kind of.
Yes.
And of course, a shed load of Seahawk positivity.
Always.
All you need to do is throw a Hawks jersey over that, and you are good to go. With all that being said, it looks like it's going to be perfect Seahawks weather.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Excellent.
Yeah.
George Clooney also, by the way.
Yeah, famous. I put in famous.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, right.
Doris,
Damn.
come on
Well
now.
said, well said.
Oh. My jungle, no.
What, Jerry Springer didn't come up on that?
Excellent,
Nope.
Matt. Thank you, Matt.
Can't just open him. He's dead.
Who?
You can't.
Jerry Springer.
Jerry Springer, who, true story, was mayor of Cincinnati,
He was.
and true story, as mayor of Cincinnati, paid for a prostitute with a personal check. I am not making this up. You can look it up.
Yep.
Jerry.
Did he cancel
All
the
right.
check?
I have no idea. Next we have coming up is Statsman Mark and Brick's Picks. All right, Brick's Picks. He sent me his record. He started 3-0. And we thought, wow.
Wow.
Mark really knows what he's doing. Since then, he's 1-8. He's 4-8 against the spread. He said it, I quote, ouch, rebound. So Brick's picks this week are the following. Falcons -2.5 at home against the Commanders. The Buccaneers plus a 3.5 at home against the Lions. And you can go under on 48.5 on the Cards and Rams game. So that's what he picked for Brick's Picks. So we want to thank him for that. And now let's go to church. Yes, this is I, the self-appointed Reverend Moses of the St. Paul Iowa Church Seahawk Positivity. How are you doing this evening, everybody?
Good, thank you,
Doing
Reverend.
great, sir. Doing great.
Great to see you all well rested from a week of no Seahawk football and just chomping at that bit to see those 3-1 Seahawks make a serious run at finishing just behind the 49ers, the NFC West. But we'll move on. Friends, so glad to be once again here as we jump back on that road towards the promised land. And as we move forward, we are still basking in the warm glow of Seahawk positivity. Reading from the book of the 2003 NFL season, chapter 5, verse 7-12. As we once again travel upon the road to the promised land, we find ourselves in the Queen City. There we are met by striped beasts that live in the jungle. They attempt to defeat us, but the power of Seahawk positivity is too powerful for those Bengals, and they are defeated. And there's much rejoicing in the land of Seahawk positivity. Yes, this is the word, my brother. Can you feel the power of Seahawk positivity deep in you? Can you feel it? If I so, let's hear it. I'm in, nice and loud.
Amen.
Yes, feel the power. And if you believe in the power to give our defense the ability to make Joe burrow his head in shame on the ground, let's hear it. I'm in, nice and loud.
Amen.
And nice and loud.
Yes, and if you believe in the power to give our offense the ability to score more than George Clooney at an ER convention, let's hear it. I'm in, nice and loud.
Hallelujah.
Amen. Yes, that's the power, my brother. Now, we are loud and proud, my 12s. They may ask who they, but we know who they will be. They will be us. We will be they. Go learn some grammar, Cincinnati. It's embarrassing. You embarrass all of us. But anyway, this has been
The Midwest
Reverend
education.
Moses of the St. Paul Allen Church of Seahawk Positivity. Praise Walter Jones. Praise Steve Largent. Praise Cortez Kennedy. Praise Kenny Eastley. And as always, go Hawks. Coming up next, our predictions, our prognostications, and our game balls for that game between your Seattle Seahawks and the Cincinnati Bengals right after this.
You are watching the 12-Man Fan Jam Show, a Seahawk Positivity production. It's the fourth quarter, bitches!
Yes, welcome to the fourth and final quarter of episode 1110, the Bengals edition of your 12-Man Fan Jam Show. Wow.
I thought of interrupting you there.
The Bengals are playing the Seahawks Sunday in Cincinnati at 10 a.m. on the West Coast, 1 p.m. on the East Coast, and 6 p.m. in England. The Seahawks are 3-point underdogs. The over-under for our case will be 45.5. This is the time we usually talk about our prognostications. But before we do that, you have to say, hey, Moses, what are you drinking?
Son of a bitch! Come here, Dre.
What
Hey,
you
Moses,
drinking?
What are you
What
drinking?
you drinking?
Well, that's funny you bring it up. This is a special, it's an ale. It's a game day ale. And it is about as Bengals as you can get.
Oh yes.
Yeah, that's pretty Bengali.
I'm actually a little jealous. I was
They got some
hoping to
stripeys.
participate. Yeah.
Yeah, but that, it says, what's a great
You've been
game day beer? Apparently, this is our answer. So I'm going to pop this baby and
So what is this
Or,
beer?
to be
you
fair,
it's
got it?
just beer.
I feel you've been
Bye.
participating the whole game.
It is just a
All the
regular
time.
beer, or if
Oh
Matt
my
sees
God,
this, it's
dude.
like
Who pours beer like
My
that?
God.
it's like piss. I told you my alcohol that is
We're
not
straight out of
existent.
can, baby.
You got a tip right, man.
Did
Look
you
at
pour it from 50 yards?
look at the head on this
Here's
thing.
my mug.
That's
He's doing
what
like
she
the
said.
Niagara Falls impersonation. Here's my mug. Here's the waterfall.
Here's the pour.
I gotta tell you,
That's show.
I am not a fan of beer. That's not bad.
Oh,
It's not bad.
little bit of
Oh,
hops.
boy. Here we go. He's going back to his roots right now.
It looks like an IPA.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
Chug it. Finish it.
Chug,
No, I
chug,
don't like it that
chug,
much.
chug, 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 chug,
Peer
chug,
pressure.
chug, 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 chug,
There it is.
Chug,
Hey!
chug, chug, chug. Here's the Dennis. He's true blue. He's a piss pot through and through. Oh.
Next week, Moses will
He's the
send you a
bastard,
beer,
so
we'll
they say.
send you
He
a
went to
beer
go to
bottle.
everybody. He went to the way. He went down, down, down. Sip, sip, sip.
Once
It's easy to
again,
do. It's easy to
so
do
sad
with
my
the
son knows
third
that.
though.
it's time for Little Mo and his Madden challenge.
Sorry, Brian.
Sorry, Brian.
I feel wounded that you turn away and turn it to Little Mo.
I have hurt you. I have hurt you today.
But
Blame
go
it
ahead.
on. I've
Little
been,
Mo,
Twist.
you
Brian.
go right ahead.
Brian, I've been drinking, so I'm sorry.
One beer and-
Little Mo, your
All
Madden
right.
challenge from the Giants game we didn't talk about.
Oh, yeah.
You had that game in a 17-17 tie.
I didn't have it at anything. Madden
Well, they
had
did.
That.
They had a 17-17
Be
tie.
clear.
So, what have you
Very
got
long.
for us? And what Lil Mo does is he plays it the game on Madden. He doesn't play it. He sets it up as realistic as he can, and he
Sims
lets it
it.
run, and he sims it, and he sees what the score happens. So, Lil Mo, what happened in your simulation of the Bengals Seahawks game?
All right. So the first drive of the game, the Bengals score a touchdown to Tyler Boyd, 7-0
Oh.
Bengals. Then we fumble on the drive, a strip sack
Oh,
by
boy.
DJ Reader for the Bengals.
Awesome.
Joe Burrow, 30-yard touchdown pass to Tyler Boyd, 14-0 Bengals. Geno Smith, a 1-yard touchdown to DK Metcalf, 7-14 Bengals. The Seahawks get a safety. I don't know how it happened, but it happened. 14-9 Bengals.
Safety, what happens is you tackle
Yeah,
them.
anyway.
Write that
They're in
down.
the zone.
Shut up, Justin.
Write that down.
Then the Seahawks scored a 2-yard touchdown to Noah Fant, makes the score
Ooh.
16-14 Seahawks. Joe Mixon a 15-yard touchdown reception,
Yeah.
makes the score 21-16. It's 21-16 at halftime. The Seahawks score a 2-yard rushing touchdown by K9, makes the score 24-21 after the 2-point conversion was converted.
Ah, nice.
QB sneak for Joe Burrow with a 1-yard touchdown makes the score 28-24 because they think they're the Eagles. Jamal Chase, a 12-yard touchdown, makes it 35-24 Bengals in the fourth quarter. Not good.
That sounds
Geno
good.
Smith, a touchdown, 23-yard touchdown to Jake Bobo,
Bobo.
who, by the way, has 77 speed. I don't know if you guys know how bad that is in Madden. That is so bad. Anyways, makes the score 32-35 Bengals with 2:26 left, and we never get the ball back because the defense has stopped them.
Oh.
Final score 35-32 Bengals.
35-32 Bengals. Well, what an exciting game. Tell us some of the stats.
I'm getting there. You interrupted me, sir.
I'm sorry.
Geno Smith, 26 for 31 for 236 yards and 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. Joe Burrow had 24 for 28, 296 yards and 4 touchdowns and 1 interception. Joe Mixon, 18 rushes for 50 yards. Kenneth Walker, 16 rushes for 70 yards. JSN led the team in receptions with 7. Touchdowns for DK, Jake Bobo, and Noah Fant. Bengals, Tyler Boyd had 2 touchdowns with 7 receptions for 108 yards. Touchdowns for Jamal Chase and Joe Mixon as well. Jordan Brooks led the team in tackles. Tackles for loss for Jordan Brooks, who had 2. 1 for Jamal Adams, Taylor Taylor, Jerron Reed, and Uchenna Nwosu. Sacks also for Uchenna Nwosu. Mike Hilton was the leading tackle for the Bengals. They only had 1 tackle for loss with DJ Reader, and he also had a sack. And Devin Witherspoon had an interception.
Nice.
And safety for Jordan Brooks.
Nice.
The one who tackle.
Very nice. Well,
the reason I said that, I don't know how that safety happens, because safety never happens in simulation.
Right.
Okay, Dustin?
So it's interesting to see if that happens. But at least that part, the 32 points are pretty good. I don't know about 35. Okay, Brian, now, would you give us a prognostication, a game ball, and a score, please?
Okay. Well, first off, every fan does this, is they look at the thing at the beginning of the season and go through and prognosticate. So my beginning of the season prognostication was a loss, 23-27.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The problem is the injuries and the limited mobility of Burrow because of his calf is still a question mark going into this game.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, I see it as just the opposite, 27-23 Seattle, simply because the defensive line is going to be able to get to him. He's not going to be able to move around in the pocket as much. So my game ball is actually going to be Uchenna Nwosu, who should be able to get to him 2 or 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where I'm at.
Are you going to say 3 sacks for the Bengals or Seahawks then?
Oh, I'm going to see 5 sacks for the Seahawks, 3 by Nwosu.
Oh, which one do you want? The 5 sacks or the 3 sacks as your prognostication?
I'll go 5.
5 sacks by team. Okay. Awesome. That'd be awesome. That happens. Thank you, Brian. Thanks for joining our show. We really appreciate you being on today.
Yeah, great to have you.
Yeah,
man.
it's great to have you. Always a pleasure. Tell birthday boy over there we said happy birthday too.
Oh, I did.
Happy birthday, Matt.
He's been singing and smiling.
Oh, good. I'm glad. Here's what Team 12 thought. Jose, 27-20. Hawks, game ball, K9. GSN gets his first touchdown. This is prognostication. Love you guys. Go Hawks. We love you too. Josie Rodriguez. Chris Balding, Seahawks 31. Orange Putty Cats 20. Game ball to Bobby Wagner. Prognostication Adams with a sack. Andy, Seattle 34. Bengals 27. Prognostication is a defensive score. Game ball to DK. Jimmy, this is going to be one hell of a tough challenge. The record doesn't show how good Cincy is, and that offense looks locked in again. I see this one going down to the wire. Hawks win 27-23, like Brian said. Prognostication, B-Wags with 12 or more tackles. Game ball to Lockett. He's due for a big game. Becky, 34-28 Seahawks. Lockett, 2 touchdowns. Walker, game ball. And now for our team, Team Posse. Saturday Mark, Seahawks 23-21. Seattle defense gets 3 sacks. Game ball to Reed. Jerron Reed. Little Mo, what you got for us in this game?
Who are you talking to?
Little Mo.
You.
That would be you.
Yeah. I'll go. What did my hold on? What did my Madden say?
35-32.
Okay, I'll go 35-32 Seahawks winning, not the Bengals.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
And no, it's not going to be on a game-winning kick from Jake Myers. So everybody calm down.
You mean Jason Myers?
I don't. What's his name? What did I say?
You said Jake Myers.
Yeah, I don't really. He sucks.
You wouldn't let us know that down, so I'm just bringing that up. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, that's how much I care about him. I don't even know his name.
I understood.
I'm gonna go with a touchdown for Tyler Lockett.
All right.
And then I'm gonna go game ball to K9.
Oh, all right. Maddie, hello.
Hello.
What you got for us?
I think it's going to be Seahawks 27, Bengals 23.
Wow. Okay.
I'm going to say, let's mix it up a little bit. I need the points. I'm going to say 1 touchdown for JSN.
Okay.
And I'll give my game ball, though, because I think he's going to have a tough running game. I'm going to give it to Carbonnet.
See, Matt, that's why I did. That's why I did multiple names, because I can get points somehow.
Get
even if one doesn't work.
Points.
Game ball to good old Carbonnet. Dustin, what you got for us?
I'm gonna keep with our above 30-point average and say the Seahawks are gonna get 31, and Bengals will probably get 24.
All right.
I'm gonna go with. Let's go offense. K9 gets 100 yards rushing.
Okay.
And game ball, I'm gonna give to. Jamal Adams, man. Let him ball.
Oh, nice. That would be great. That'd be
Ball and
great.
Jamal.
Ball and Jamal. Will, what you got?
Let's go 31-27 Seahawks. My prognostication, Witherspoon gets at least one pick. I think Burrow's going to try and test him, and our young rookie's going to make him pay for it.
All right.
Game ball, I agree with Jimmy. I think Lockett's due, so I'm going to say Tyler Lockett.
Very nice. Very nice.
Good,
All right.
good.
Well, I guess it's my turn.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody. This week, the Seahawks travel to Cincinnati, where they face the last place Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals are coached by Zach Taylor, who in no way looks or acts like former President Zachary Taylor, but they do have some things in common. For example, President Zach Taylor may have been poisoned as our leader, and as the Bengals leader, head coach Zach Taylor may have poisoned the Bengal fans the last couple seasons, thinking he's a competent coach. President Zach Taylor was nicknamed Old Rough and Ready in wartime. Head coach Zach Taylor has recently been nicknamed Old 3 Downs and Punt during games. But I digress. Offensively,
Is it bad that I didn't know that was the president?
Sad, but that's Indiana education.
I graduated, guys.
You graduated. Offensively, they're led by Joe Burrow, who resembles actor and Pennywise clown Bill Skarsgård, if you look at him, which seems to be fitting as this team seems to be struggling to find it this season.
I get it.
Thank you.
Good.
Averaging 17 points a game, which is about as effective as a Carolina Panther playoff ticket raffle. If I may, a quick language lesson to my friends in Cincinnati, of which there are many. Now, you all say this chant, and I'm going to quote, who they think going to beat them Bengals. Now, Bengal fans, please. Now, let's get you a little bit more intelligent, shall we? I mean, try this grammatically correct version this week. Who are they? Who are they? Who are those who think that they can beat our Bengals? And of course, you always finish it by saying, nobody. Not this week. That's right, baby. The Bengals are in town, and my game ball Kenneth Walker is going to run all over the Strike Kitties. Not only that, but his partner in the backfield, Zach Charbonnet, or Carbonnet, as he's known on this show. Carbonnet's going to score a touchdown. That's my prognostication. Who day, Cincy? We day. We day team going to beat them Bengals by a score of Seahawks 34, Bengals 27. Book it.
It is so booked.
Don't let it be booked.
I
Let me
lost it.
booked.
Can you say all that again? I didn't book it in time.
I forgot. You guys have to watch the show. Brian, it was great having you on the show. On behalf of Brian, Will, Dustin, Little Mo, and Matt from Old England, and those who you see and some of those that you don't, we hope you enjoyed the show. We hope you learned something. Maybe you did. Maybe you laughed a little. Maybe you didn't. I don't know what to tell you. I hope you enjoyed the show. Hey, or you didn't.
Remember to always wake up to your alarm.
Wake up to your alarm. And remember, Skyline Chili looks best when it's put on wieners. So, that being said, this is your self-appointed Reverend Moses of the St. Paul Island Church Seahawk Positivity saying, as always, until next time, go Hawks.
Go Hawks.
Go Hawks and Messi.
Go Hawks. We day. We day, people. We day. Who the hell cares? Because it do not matter. Because we, that team, to beat the ass this Sunday.
Link in the description.
Nobody cares.